Hello there and welcome to another edition of Did You Know Doctor Who, what you may not know about Doctor Who. This time we're going to have a look at the 5th Doctor story, Kinda. I hope you enjoy. Richard Todd is the first Best Actor Oscar nominee to appear in the series. Nyssa only makes a brief appearance at the start of episode 1 and at the end of episode 4. Because of the script had largely been in development at the time when only 2 companions for the Doctor were envisioned. When it was known a 3rd companion would also be present rather than write Nyssa into the entire storyline, it was decided she would remain in the TARDIS throughout and be absent through most of the narrative. To account for this absence, Nyssa was scripted to collapse at the end of the previous story, 4 to Doomsday. In 1982, the story ranked last in a fan poll in the Doctor Who Monthly magazine, with many fans disliking the story. It wasn't until years later the story became a fan favourite, and in the 2009 poll, it had listed 69th out of 200 stories. Working title for the story was simply The Kinda. Kinda is based on Buddhist concepts with Buddhist names and themes throughout the story. The name of the planet Devaloka means realm of the gods. The Mara derives from the demon of the same name in Buddhist mythology, which, as in Doctor Who, symbolises temptation rather than evil. In Kinda, Durka, Panna, Kurana, Anatta and Anika, I hope I said those names correctly, are functions and are all derived from Buddhism as well. Durka means for suffering, Panna is wisdom, Kurana means compassion, Anatta is not self, and Anika means impermanence. This is the only 5th Doctor story to not include the TARDIS interior. This was Janet Fielding's favourite story, with Peter Davison claiming this to be Tegan's best story. One of the uncredited child actors in this story is the future film and TV star Johnny Lee Miller. The script, like with many early 5th Doctor stories, was originally written with the 4th Doctor in mind. The relationship between Christopher Bailey and Eric Soward was uneasy, as the author felt that the script editor was performing unnecessarily broad rewrites on his story, forcing him to make further changes at the last minute in an attempt to find the middle ground. According to Soward, Bailey said at one point, "My themes, where have they gone?" To which Soward replied, "It was either this or we rejected it." Bailey found the rewrites clunky and rewrote the script himself. There was a popular fan theory that Kate Bush wrote the story. She didn't. Peter Grimwald was extremely unhappy with the forest set, which he felt did little to conceal his studio-bound nature. In particular, significant amounts of time were lost concealing the studio floor beneath scattering leaves, resulting in Grimwald eventually proceeding without camera rehearsals. Richard Todd was asked to tone down his performance in rehearsals, as the producers thought it was far too over the top. Nerys Hughes hated the script and did not enjoy her time here. While Sarah Sutton wasn't present, she instead spent her time shopping before returning for the next story. The poor Mara special effect was one of the effects noted by Michael Grade, the man who cancelled Doctor Who. The story was originally going to be more phallic, with the Mara being pink in colour and Tegan being seduced and quote-unquote raped by the Mara. However, this was seen as too dark, and Peter Grimwald ordered for the Mara to be toned down immediately. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Kinda is certainly one of the more interesting stories out there. It's certainly one of the more mind-fuckery episodes, if that makes sense. And it's certainly an interesting story nonetheless. I like this idea that there's this snake that is controlling people through mind control, more or less. And I love how almost insane people become being controlled by this demon, if you can call it that. I think the Mara is certainly one of the more interesting villains in Doctor Who, and I know this is a very popular story, and for me I think it's a decent story. I don't think it's one of the best stories in my opinion, but I do think that it definitely has a lot of great highlights, and I do prefer this over Snake Dance overall. And I think overall this is a decent story. That's all I can really say about it. It's a decent story. I know some people probably absolutely love this story. I know some people consider this probably one of their favourites. I don't think this is one of the 5th Doctor's best, and I don't think this is one of the best stories either. I just think that it's okay. A maybe 6, 7 out of 10 story, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I do like the ideas and the themes that it's trying to portray. And I think it's a very, very interesting story nonetheless. I just feel like that in sometimes it feels a bit too over the top and too silly, if that makes sense. I think if they just went with the more darker tone, it probably would have been a lot more effective, a lot more better. In my opinion, of course. I don't know if that would be more effective in the end, but hey, we never got that chance. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Did You Know Doctor Who, and I'll see you next time.